Hello and welcome to this episode of Forged Father Fire. This is episode number 2, and this is all about self-created suffering. What is self-created suffering? Well, let me start off by just sharing with you a story. A couple years ago, I did the KILLington Ultra race, which it's a 30-mile race. It actually ended up being over 30 miles, but it's in the mountains of KILLington, Vermont. And this is said to be the hardest course for Spartan race in the United States. At the time, a couple of years ago, I've heard a couple of numbers thrown around, but they said 13% is the average finishing rate for this race, the Ultra. I just heard yesterday that 20% is the average for finishers. So 80% of the people that sign up for this race do not finish. And so a couple of years ago when I did this race, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, physically, mentally, and it tested me spiritually. To be honest with you, it was the spiritual side of me that got me past the finish line. It was an out-of-body experience. My body was completely done. My mind wanted to quit. But man, that connection that I have to God during that race pushed me past the finish line. And I'm preparing for another one. So we're less than a month away for KILLington Vermont take 2. So September 14th, we'll be running that race again. And I know it's going to be a bitch. I know it's going to be hard. It's going to test me. It's going to challenge me. My body's going to physically break. My mind's going to want to break, but I'm not going to break. I'm not going to break because I'm not somebody who quits. I'm not somebody who gives up. And I have a spiritual connection to finishing this race. I've made a commitment to God. I've made a commitment to myself. I've made a commitment to my family. And really, that deep down, that's why I'm running this race. To be honest with you, I need to earn another belt buckle. So all of these ultras I've ran, and they give you a belt buckle at the very end. And I've dedicated those belt buckles to each one of my kids. And so this one is for my son. And so it has deep, deep meaning to me. And so preparing for this race, I was hit up on Instagram the other day by somebody, and they asked me, why are you doing all of these hard things? And he was just generally curious. And my answer to that was to keep my edge. I want to stay sharp. I want to know what I'm capable of. I want to know that I can physically do it, that I can mentally do it, that I can spiritually do it. And so this self-created suffering, the workouts that I do on a day-to-day basis, they're a part of that process. Signing up for events such as the KILLington Ultra. I mean, we go a couple months back, we did the Fort Carson Ultra, which that was a blast. It wasn't nearly as hard as KILLington, but it was fun. It pushed me physically. It pushed me mentally. I was very connected spiritually. But all of this self-created suffering, it's like, why? Why do it when you can just sit around and be comfortable? Why do it when you can just, skim by, check the boxes? For me, seeing the world and how soft it's gotten and seeing how that's impacted men, fathers, guys are walking around soft as fuck, physically, mentally. Physically, they're broken. And in return, mentally, they're fucking broken. And a lot of times, spiritually, they're absolutely broken as well. It's all interconnected. When you live a certain lifestyle driven by values and purpose, and you uphold certain standards for yourself, and you maintain that physically, it bleeds over to your mental side, but it bleeds over to how you show up for your family. It bleeds over into how you're producing financially, and it certainly bleeds over into how much you believe in yourself, but also that spiritual connection that you have with God, because He gave you this body. He gave you this body to live your life in. How are you going to treat this body? You're going to build this body up, get it ready for fucking anything? Because that's another big reason why I go through self-created suffering every single day is when the uncontrollables hit, I have no doubts in my mind that I'm physically capable, mentally I'm capable to push through the shit. And I believe that I can push through the shit. It's all interconnected. So that's why I do it, is to not let myself become average and just become a part of the mediocre world. I want to show up as the best dad I possibly can. I know I'll be able to do that when I'm physically sharp, mentally sharp, spiritually connected. I want to show up as the best husband. I want to be able to produce for my family and simply just be locked the fuck in. No doubts about it. And one of the best ways to do that is to push yourself physically every single day. Build yourself up, harden yourself so you're unstoppable and you're unbreakable. That's why I do it. So for my fellow dad out there that might be listening to this message, ask yourself, are you putting yourself through self-created suffering? Are you building your body up, or are you letting it get fucking weak? Don't let it get weak.